Okay, this isn't getting edited, so we're just gonna. Oh heavens. Okay, whoever designed this computer put the camera on the bottom instead of on the top. So it's like the most awkward thing ever. And the lighting's horrible and it doesn't matter. So today, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so we're not live today. I'm leaving you a message because I am in a hotel room, if you couldn't tell. And but there's been something that's been on my mind all week long that I want to share with you. And I had to have my phone because I need you guys to listen to a message. So here's how we'll preface it. Let me play this message for you first. Okay. This is let me just play this message for you real quick. Let me make sure my volume's up. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta get it on speaker. Okay.
Lisa, it's Laura. I have no water. Thank God I took a shower yesterday before the plumbers came, but now I have no water, no pressure, no nothing. I can't even take a shower. I can't do anything. What happened to my water? Everything was fine before these plumbers showed up. Call me 911. Get it straight. I want the plumbers here now. And
Okay. So that was my client. And then hold on, we got to give you a little bit more that goes after that. Let me get you all her thoughts here. This is all your fault. Let's see, hold on. This shouldn't have taken so long. Just a second. Some really good ones here. Oh yeah. I said to her, if you would go check the breaker, tried to kind of help her troubleshoot this issue, right? I'm not going to give you the full, like, it doesn't really matter. I'm giving you the pieces that matter. So she said, I am not going to troubleshoot anything, 5 exclamation points. You best fix this now, capital letters, 5 more exclamation points. And then I'm tired of being put out. I'm sick of this. And send a real plumber, not those people. Send a different plumber. Let's see. Send a plumber that knows what they are doing because I will not, capital letters, live this way. It's not right that I'm being put out when you volunteered to do these repairs, yet it's not getting done sooner. Now, once again, I'm put out of what I have to do and what plans I have going on. You, in the end, are responsible for this. And then she continues. I said, that's the plumber that I'm going to send back. It's a quick fix. I'm not going to hire a different plumber. It's a Sunday. No one else will come out. And she said, then I guess you're paying for a hotel, food, and gas for me, needing normal living until. And then I said, there will be a plumber there tomorrow. She said, better be a new plumber. She just kept going and going. Okay. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Not the most fun thing that happens. And sometimes we get clients who behave in a manner such as this. And it can leave us, I don't know about you, like when you hear the message and how that makes you feel, but we have a few things that will happen to us. We, number one, take on their emotions. So she will come at me and then I'm like, oh my gosh, which I didn't feel like at this time. But when they come at you, when someone comes at you, we have a tendency to be like, what did I do wrong? Or how do I fix this? Or how do I make them feel happy? We want them to be happy, right? And I'm all for making people, like wanting people to feel happy. However, there's something very important about other people and their own emotions that I want to teach you today. Okay. Okay, so first, we need to separate out this person's emotions, okay, and the feelings that they're having. And I want you to be very curious. Be very curious about that message that the client left me, because we're not usually curious. We get defensive. We go straight to defensive. So if we look at it as being curious, the first thing I think is, well, why is she angry? Okay. She's angry because she's inconvenienced. She's angry because she's feeling like things got messed up. And that's not something I need to fix. Okay? Those emotions, those thoughts that she's having, that doesn't need to be fixed. She's just having emotions. She's just having thoughts, and that's okay. Okay? She is allowed to do that, and I don't need to change that. Where we get flubbed up is where we feel like we need to change the way that they're feeling because they're not supposed to feel upset. Why are they not supposed to feel upset? There's nothing wrong with feeling upset. Okay. The second thing I want you to see in there and recognize is that she is actually not feeling her own emotions, and she is looking on the outside to try to make her feel better. So she thinks that if I just fix it faster, I send a different plumber, I do this, I do that, right? If someone else does something, that's going to change the way that she feels. Of course, that's not what she's thinking, but that's what's going on with her. So if, right, it's kind of like the if then, if you do this, then I will be happy. If you do this, then I won't be mad anymore, right? Which is not true. It's not going to matter. Those are her emotions. Those are her feelings. And no matter what I do, it's not going to make her happy. She's still going to be angry. That's just the way that she's like thinking about things. I can't fix that. She has to fix that herself, and she has to want to fix that. And she doesn't. Okay. She just wants to be angry. So why am I bringing this up? Like, why is this a magical training? Because what happens to us as agents is we have a situation that happens like this, and somebody's going to yell at you. Just if they haven't yet, they will. But someone's going to yell at you. This was the most dramatic. This is the most dramatic I think I've ever had. I've actually been being yelled at for about a month now by the buyer and the seller. They're both a little bit off their rockers. And they do, and I say that they don't know how to process their emotions. So they go to anger, and they go to something outside of me needs to be controlled, and something outside of me needs to fix the way that I'm feeling. And we know that's not true, but there's nothing that we need to do about it. Okay. So as an agent, a lot of the problems that we come up against is that someone yells at us like this. And then when we say like we take it personal, we're absorbing. We can absorb their energy, absorb the feelings that they have. Just, it's like darts. They're just throwing darts at us, and we're just like standing there and we're just taking them. Right. And we don't need to take them. Now, we don't need to stop them either. Okay. So the darts will come. The people will say things, and those things may or may not make you feel good. They may or may not be happy with you, but that's okay. We do our best on our side, like in our job, we do the best that we can, but we don't need to let it deflate us. So if I had not been practicing managing my own thoughts and managing my mind, something like this could have crashed me. Back in the day, something like this could have crashed me to where I would take it so personally, and I would want them to be happy, and I would want to make them happy. And I'm telling you right now, these two women will never find their happy place unless they have some really great medication and some really good counseling. They have issues beyond just a normal person situation. They've got some pretty heavy things that they don't process that's helping to cause all this stuff for them. So the next time that someone comes at you, much like my client came at me, right, and says some things, you need to be intentional. So I do not want you to be reactive, because reactive part of our brain says, suck it, lady. Or the reactive part of our brain says, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And then we make it mean something about us when it means nothing about you. It is everything to do with them, how they process their own emotions, and the fact that they do not love the emotions that they're having. That's it. You'll see this in your children when they get angry about something and then they come at you and it's your fault, or even your spouse sometimes, and they come at you and it's your fault, right? Because they just have emotions that they need to process through, and they're looking for an external validation or an external solution to the way that they're feeling. That's it. Okay, so be very curious. So next time you have a difficult situation, next time you have someone that comes up against you, it could be an agent, it could be a lender, it could be anybody. It could be a client, it could be a neighbor, it could be a best friend, it could be a spouse, it could be anything. Just be curious. That's the first step, is to just be curious about what's going on. Like, I wonder why they're feeling this way. I wonder why she is so angry. I wonder why she doesn't want to allow the plumber to come back. I wonder why she doesn't want to just check her breaker. Just curiosity. Curiosity is the first step, okay? And then I want you to ask yourself, what's the problem? What's the problem? Now, by asking ourselves what's the problem, it helps us stay out of the drama and stay out of the spinning and stay out of the taking other people's emotions on. So what's the problem? Well, in this situation, I would say, okay, what's the problem, Lisa? Well, the problem is the plumber messed up her water. She has no water and she's upset. Okay, now that's a different problem than if I tried to tell myself, well, the problem is she's yelling at me. And this could be a problem too. But if I think the problem is that she's yelling at me and I don't know how to deal, makes me feel bad. I feel like I'm not doing my job. I don't know what's going on. Like, oh, I just found new light. So if that's the case, then I'm saying, well, why is that a problem? Like, why is it a problem that she's expressing her emotions at me? Why is it a problem that she's angry? Maybe it would probably make me angry too. If this is the way she deals with it, and that's okay, right? But it doesn't have to mean anything about me. So that kind of helps you process through to the next step, which is, well, what else could be true about what's going on? What else could be true? It could be true that she's really tired and she really has had a rough week and she is emotional about her move. That could be really true. Or it could be true that she doesn't understand the way plumbing works. And if she doesn't understand the way that plumbing works, maybe she thinks that it's going to be like a catastrophic fix and it's going to really put her out and she won't have a shower. So therefore she needs a hotel. That could be true. Like, what else could be true? Could be true that maybe she grew up in a family that yells when they're frustrated. And this is just the way that she communicates. That could be true. So do you see how when we allow ourselves to think larger, right? Outside, I don't want to say outside the box, but we want to expand our thinking. And when we expand our thinking, all of a sudden, it takes us from, oh my gosh, this is my fault. My client's upset. What do I do? I'm freaking out, to this curiosity place of, oh, well, maybe she's just feeling this way because of this. The difference between those two places that you're at, the feeling for me, right? The one receiving this yelling comment and this client, the difference between those feelings is huge, because one wants to drive me to go eat something. In my old days, I would go straight to chocolate chips. That's what I did. And I would go to chocolate chips to soothe the way that I was feeling because she felt this way. So now all of a sudden I felt like garbage, or I was stressed out, or I was on edge, right? So then I'd have to go soothe that or buffer with chocolate. It's my go-to drug is chocolate. Instead, where I can manage my mind, when something like that happens, I become curious. I ask some questions. Why is this a problem? And what else could be true? And that helps bring down your level, especially if it starts to kind of create some anxiety. If people talking to you this way creates any sort of anxiety inside you, that helps bring that anxiety level down. And it gets your head out of this like catastrophizing, emotional. It takes you out of your emotional brain and it takes you down into your logical brain. And that's where we'd like to be, is in our logical brain. at this point because she's got enough emotion for all the people in the neighborhood. So we don't need more emotion in the situation. We need some logical in the situation. So that's your special training for today. I hope that helps. It can be intense, you guys, if we don't learn how to manage our minds and how we respond and how we want to choose to respond and show up. So kind of reimagine the way that you think about things, the way that you perceive other people's comments, other people's emotions. They're just having emotions, right? And that doesn't have to mean anything about you. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I miss you. I will be back for next Wednesday. I've got some amazing trainings for you coming up. So have a wonderful day and go serve your clients.